welcome back to Canada and Beyond. This is Jihen and this is Usman. Today's video is gonna be different because we're traveling. We're driving from Toronto to Montreal and we have a 6 hours drive, so we're like, why not make this drive useful and answer some of your questions. So before we get started, I want you guys to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It should be down there to the right. Make sure to hit that
or to the left
so that you can always see these contents if you do like us talking and sharing some benefits with you.
So we have been asked this question many times, that whether it's good or bad to rent the house or own the house. So today's video topic is going to be around that area. So we will discuss in details whether you should buy the house or rent it in St. John, New Brunswick.
Or in Canada, because we'll be kind of discussing how is the market nowadays in Canada. I mean, we just came back from Toronto and we have an idea how much houses are there. This topic is very near and dear to Osman's heart because he's a big lover, if I may say, for real estate and buying properties and all that. So I might like you guys see me kind of stopping him if he goes way over and over excitement. I'm gonna try to like chill him down so we keep straight to the topic. But yeah, let's get started.
By the way, sorry to cut you off. We have to take exit in 10 kilometers.
Okay.
Thank you. Please and thanks.
Second, we want to know what's in your mind, you guys. Are you planning to rent or buy a house in St. John or Canada? Comment your answer down below and we might gonna be able to help you find a house if that's what you want. We know a lot of people who are real estate agents. They would love to help our newcomers. So comment down below what you want. We will be looking at this topic in a different way and different angle. So get your notebook ready and start taking some notes.
Make sure to watch this video all the way until the end, because at the end we will be talking our personal life, why we chose to buy the house instead of renting it.
The first point I want to discuss is regarding the rent. So your expenses for renting a house or apartment in New Brunswick, your rent cost, it's gonna go between $900 for one bedroom apartment to almost like $2,500 for a full house, like 3-bedroom, nice kitchen and everything. It depends if you have a big family or not. But let's say you're gonna rent in the middle, you're gonna be renting a 2-bedroom apartment for $1,200, right? On top of that, you will be paying your electricity bill. Your electricity bill when you are in a rental property is gonna be a little bit lower when you are owning a house. So I'm gonna say, just comparing to how we used to do it, electricity bill for us used to be $50, $40. We were not paying heat. Some rental property, they will ask you to pay heat because the heat is electric, so it will be included in your electricity bill, which could kind of rise up during the winter time to maybe 150, something like that, 180. It always depends on your usage and how long you're gonna stay in the house. Maybe you're just gonna use it at the night time. The other expenses, it will show up when you are renting a property, is the rent insurance. This insurance, basically, it's gonna cover you as a tenant. It's not gonna be covering the owner of that property. It's more for you. So God forbid your the rent apartment or house went into like a got burned down or somebody break in and your
damage the property.
Damage the property or things got stolen. This rental insurance is gonna be covering you from these things, and I'm gonna say it will go from $20 to $30, and it go even. I remember we did the first rent insurance with Zip Shore. It was for $12, and they give you like 1 million
liability.
1 million liability. The other expense for a house is gonna be a Wi-Fi, right? You will need some sort of internet hub. Either you're working from home or doing your studies and everything. Wi-Fi nowadays, honestly, it's costing more than it should, right, Usman?
Yeah.
Like, to me, a Wi-Fi should not even go more than $35, or that's how much we used to pay in the state. But you guys should always kind of should always look for the best plan. There are Bell and Roger, these two major Wi-Fi internet provider. And what they do, they're gonna always give you some sort of promotion for 12 months where your hub is gonna cost like $100, but instead of 100, you'll get $50 discount, so your bill is gonna be like 50 plus tax. Same thing, Bell sometimes do that. I kind of find Roger has more promotion for newcomers and new customer more than Bell. Even my friends, whoever come as a newcomer, I kind of encourage them to call Roger and see what they have. And by all means, this video is not sponsored by Roger. The other expense is the car parking. Sometimes some rental property don't have car parking lot, which mean you're gonna either end up parking on the road and the city will charge you for a park, especially if you are living in uptown, or sometimes the rental property, they're gonna charge you like $10 a month for the rental spot or something like that. So keep that in mind.
And one more big expense that I would like to mention here, which may not be on her list, but it's in my list, is that some landlord asks tenant to do the landscaping and snow removal, which is, I think, is kind of ridiculous. But some landlord, what they do is they include that in the rent, charge high rent, and provide all these landscaping and snow removal services. You guys may know that in Canada, if your sidewalks are not clear or grass is not nicely maintained and cutted, the city may give you the ticket. So that's another important part. So let's now talk about owning a house instead of living in an apartment. First big expense is going to be your mortgage, and if you are buying a house, you definitely have to have a liquid money which you can put towards down payment of owning the property. And let's say if you are buying a house worth of $300,000, the down payment that you will need is if you are putting 5%, then it's $15,000. You have to have that handy. Besides that, you will have to pay a land transfer fee as well, which is 1% of that $300,000. And on top of that, you will have to pay other closing costs as well. So your monthly mortgage for $300,000 house is going to be around somewhat $1,400 to $1,600, depending upon what kind of interest rate are you paying on that mortgage.
And this is all in today's market, because it's almost 2 years ago it was not this much expensive. I know some of my friends who bought a houses 2 years ago, their mortgage is just like $500 a month, because the houses were cheap and the interest rate were also cheaper. But now this is what it is, honestly.
And one more thing I want to mention here, that some banks, when you are approved for the mortgage, they bound you to pay the whole year worth of property taxes in 3 or 4 months. So you may ended up having a higher monthly payment for the first few months, just to keep this good thing in mind. Talking about property taxes, in New Brunswick, if you are living in a good neighborhood, your average property tax is going to be around $4,500. So $4,500 in total. You don't have to pay it at once. It will come into your mortgage. Most of the time, bank will pay to the city on your behalf, and then they will charge you. After the mortgage, another big expense is water and sewer. So water bill, hydro bill is roughly about $2,500 for the whole year. But for us, we live in a little bit good area. So for our hydro bill is about $3,000. And that also you don't have to pay it all at once. You will pay 2 installments for the hydro bill. It's going to be from January until June, and then from June until all the way December. So you will pay this 3,000 or whatever hydro bill is in 2 times installments.
But there are other options as well. If you talk to the city directly, they can help you set up like a monthly payment, so you would pay it every month instead of 2 times a year. I find that a little bit too much because it's gonna increase our monthly expenses, right? So we decide to just kind of pay it right away and be done with it.
And then comes the expense of insurance. Insurance is not a joke in Canada. You cannot own a property without having proper insurance until you completely own it. But if it is related to bank, they really want to make sure that you are buying an insurance. They will not approve your mortgage. They will not let you go into the property unless the property is properly insured. Most of the time, insurance depends upon what kind of neighborhood you are living in. We live in comparatively good area, so our insurance is a little bit on the lower side. We are paying roughly about $120 a month for insurance. For apartment, it's obviously cheaper than that. It's only maybe $30 or $35 because you only get liability insurance when you are living as a tenant in the property. But if you are owning the property, the cost of insurance is going to be much more higher.
Yeah, and I think in the house you own more stuff, right? Like your appliances are more expensive, a bigger real estate, your garden, your garage, all those things are kind of included with your house insurance. And that's why house insurance are more expensive than rental insurances.
Now the next expense is electricity. Electricity, it really varies from house to house, because if you have electric baseboard heating system, the cost of electricity bill is going to be much more higher than if you have the gas furnace or something like that. For us, we are using heat pump. Heat pumps tend to be more cost effective. So you will be able to save a good amount of money if you are having a heat pump in your house.
So our electricity bill during winter time with a heat pump and dishwasher, oven, all those fun stuff.
Well, by the way, what kind of electricity equipments do we use in the house? Can you give a brief list of it?
So our electricity will kind of go with, you have the dishwasher. Luckily, our dishwasher is energy saver. The oven, which I use a lot, so that kind of consume a lot of electricity. Your stove here, most of stoves are electric stoves, so that's also get included with your electricity bill. Lights and the heat if you have electric baseboard heater or the heat pump. And then the other thing some might not know is your hot water. Your hot water comes from, there is a heater sometimes in your basement that heats up the hot water for you. And that is also part of your electricity bill because it's gonna use electricity to heat up your water. And then what we have is a water heater tank that we're actually renting from St. John Energy. So our bill will also include the rental fee of the water heater. And then again, if we are using hot water and anything, that will also be taken care of from the electricity bill, plus your washer and dryer. Those are big electric consumers.
And one more thing that she forgot, we sometimes work from home. And we use our devices, and I'm pretty sure my device consume a lot of electricity because I use 2 monitors. My laptop is always on charging.
But to be fair, like if you are working from home and using your heat and your Wi-Fi, some company would compensate you for that. Plus, in Canada's taxes, you could claim $500 every year if you are working from home. So it's gonna help a little bit with that. So our electricity bill during this winter time, it went first from 260, then 220, and then it started going down. I think at that time we're gonna realize how we should use the appliances, how often, and all that. And now it's about $150 because we are not using the heat pump. And I feel like the next month is gonna even go more lower towards 120. So this is how you guys think about it. Minimum is $100, maximum I want to say 300, 240, etc. The other expense, which is not a monthly expense, it's the unexpected maintenance fee. Because when you own a property, you are responsible to fix what could go wrong. However, when you are renting a property, you could just kind of call the agency or the landlord and say, hey, this thing is not working, I have a hole in the wall, you guys come and fix it, and they will definitely do that. But when you own a house, you cannot call anybody. You have to, you know, you have to roll your sleeve and go down and fix it. So it really depends. That maintenance fee, it could be, I mean, since we bought a house, we probably spent $200. We end up changing the doorbell and few lights and stuff like that. So far, knock on wood, nothing is wrong with our house, but I know a friend of mine and he might be watching. So I know a friend of ours that kind of ended up spending a lot of money after he owned his house, because there were a lot of things that needed to be fixed and he was not aware of that at the time of buying. So these unexpected fee, honestly, I cannot give you a price. It could be nothing, it could be $2,000. So it's just something that you guys gonna always keep in mind. So after discussing the cost between renting and owning a home, I'd like to discuss the benefit of renting a home, for example. To me, the first thing it occurs to my mind, when renting a property, you are not bound to stay in that property for, say, at least 20 years or 5 years. You're not bound to stay in that place, right? If you don't like it, you finish your lease, or if you don't have a lease, you just switch and move or go somewhere else. I don't see that happening with buying a house, because if you just got a house, you don't like it, you don't like the area, you need to at least kind of stay 5 years with the same mortgage in order to change and not have any penalty or something like that. The other benefit I see with renting a property, either a house or apartment, is less expenses every month. There are a lot of fees when you are renting a property you don't have to worry about, versus just like how we discussed now, there are a lot of fees while you are buying a house or living in a house. The other thing is less expenses when you are renting a property versus owning a house, just like how we explained that just now. Now, the downside of renting a property or an apartment, it seems like you would have a lack of control, right? You know what you want. You want 2-bedroom with a nice kitchen or nice garden or something like that. You cannot have that flexibility when looking for an apartment or looking for a house. It's more of like, okay, I need a place to stay in and I just need it and that's it. Like, you're not gonna make sure you have this design or you have this style of kitchen or this and that, dishwasher. Like, there is a big lack of control in that term. The other thing, honestly, which is really, really big, is there is no return on that investment. Renting a property is an investment. You are paying, say, $1,200 every month that money you're never gonna get back, like whatsoever. You're just gonna spend it and it's gone. Versus if you are owning a house, that rental money, basically you can just kind of put it towards your mortgage fee every month, and then you're building equity, right, Usman?
Yeah, but it goes both ways. If the market is trending downwards, you may lose your money towards your equity, because the value of your house is going down, right?
Yeah.
But it does not happen very often.
Yeah.
There is a chance that you will build a good equity, especially in market like Canada. Everywhere the real estate prices are going up, they are not coming down. There may be a little bit correction here and there, but all in all, graph is going up. So you're definitely going to build equity. But on renting, you're basically giving your money away to somebody else.
Yeah, you're never getting that back.
So when we talk about equity, if there are certain ways that you can build a good equity in the property, for instance, if you are doing some major renovations to your property, that will add value to your property. So eventually you will get that money back. When you are doing those kind of heavy renovations, you don't have to pay it from your pocket. You can always apply for a loan from the same bank that you are getting mortgage from. They will happily approve you for a house renovation loan, or maybe a HELOC, which is called a home equity line of credit. So they will give you a separate line of credit apart from your mortgage that you can use toward maybe upgrading your kitchen, making your bathroom nice, adding dishwasher and dryer in the property. So there are many ways that you can play around. As we talk, you will have control, right? So you can control how you want to add value to your property.
Exactly. And when you're filing for taxes, you can claim some of that money back from renovating your house.
Up to certain amount.
Yeah, up to certain amount, but at least you're getting some money back, and whatever you spend, it's gonna be in your property for your own pleasure, the way you want it. So there's that flexibility over there.
Another big benefit of owning a house is you don't have to live under your landlord, right? Landlords, sometimes they can be very hard to deal with. Sometimes they will just increase the rents, especially in New Brunswick. There is no specific defined law that how much your rent cap should be. So they can increase just by giving you maybe 3 months notice. And all of a sudden you ended up with a long lease and higher rent payments, which is very, very disturbing. And for me, I would not take that.
So that's not fair, honestly. And even the rental fee from today's market to like 2 years back, it was different. Like, I know friends of mine who came 3 years ago, they used to pay like $1,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment and their own garage parking and all that. So things are really changing, and what we see in today's market, it's very hard to find a rental property. And this is not just for newcomers, this is for people even living here in St. John and moving to somewhere else. It's very hard to find something else.
By the way, off to the topic, right now I am stuck at the traffic. In the right lane there is a big truck, and on the left we were supposed to go fast, but there's only one person who is going slow, and there's a long line. So if you are watching this video, please move to a side. Thank you. Okay. While there is too much good in owning a property or buying a house, there is some downsides as well. For instance, there could be an unexpected big maintenance that you have to do with your property. For instance, if the pipe burst in the basement and your basement is flooded, your insurance may cover the cost, but still you are going to be the one dealing with it, right? It's a very tricky situation. If God forbid there is a short circuit and it started fire, you will lose all your belongings in the property. So these are some kind of risk that you have to take. But unfortunately, there is no way that you can fight with Mother Nature, right?
I think to sum it up, I think like buying a house, it comes with a lot of responsibility. I mean, you know, snow blowing, lawn mowing, that's like those things that you're like, oh my God, now I have to take care of these things. I am responsible for this. There's no one who's coming. I mean, honestly, you could hire somebody to come and do those stuff, but you're gonna have to pay them. So you're gonna like, again, roll up your sleeve and go do those things by yourself. So now we come to the point where I'm gonna ask Usman, why did we buy a house? Why we stopped renting an apartment? Our apartment was really nice. It was like fully renovated, dishwasher, all that stuff. But why did we decide to buy a house instead?
Well, let's sum it up in two folds, right?
Okay.
First, we were paying rent and we were putting money on somebody else's pocket, right?
Yeah.
We were not building equity. So therefore I decided to let's go ahead and buy a house. At least the rent that we are paying, we can pay that towards our monthly mortgage and own the property, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And the second thing is, in Canada, the market is not too much volatile, I would say, because more immigrants are coming. Canada is highly dependent upon new immigrants, just like you guys. Some of you are coming here. Many people have told us that they are coming to St. John, New Brunswick.
Yeah.
So Canada depends upon you to bring more revenue, to pay more taxes, all of that stuff. So the market in a long run is not going to go down. It will.
Yeah.
There will be some corrections, but again, it's going to go up for sure. So I think it's less risky that way if we own the property right now. The sooner the better, right? Therefore, we decided to have our own property. Besides that, she always want big kitchen, nice, fancy kitchen island, a small garden, a deck to sit, some place to barbecue. So all of that, I have to keep up with her. Just want to try to be a good husband. That's what we all do, right?
You are such a good, sweet one.
That's why I thought instead of renting it, let's buy the house. We will have more control over it, and it's we are very happy with our house.
Yeah, we
it's
are.
very
We love
nice.
it. Maybe we should give them a tour, like have
Yeah, definitely. We
a
will
house
make another
tour.
video.
Yeah,
a
for
house tour.
sure. So I think this is it for today. Thank you guys for keeping us company. It was a long drive, and now we only have 1 hour to reach to Montreal, where we're gonna have so much fun, and I cannot wait to eat some Tunisian food. There are a lot of restaurants. From
Toronto
my
tour was
country.
really good, right? Toronto was
Yeah,
nice.
so we will be posting that video as well. We're gonna try to show all the fun stuff we did in Toronto, in Niagara Falls, Montreal, and then we're gonna still spend 2 more days in Quebec City. So we're gonna capture all of that beauty and share it with you guys. But this is it for today. Make sure to comment down below all your questions. I am certain you guys gonna have a lot of questions regarding what we discussed. The bottom line is, I think Usman is, we cannot gonna say it straight, you guys have to buy a house or you guys have to rent. We just wanted to give you guys a few discussion points to keep it in your mind, to take it as a tip or as a discussion point to make your decision. These are the points that you should be looking at while buying a house or while renting, and I hope really this helped you.
By the way, before wrapping up, I quickly want to say here is buying the house is not easy. Okay, it's there are too many strings attached. You have to have good credit. You have to get good interest rate. We are going to make a separate video on that, so keep waiting for that, because on that video we will share our personal experience, how many steps we had to go through. There were too many hindrances and hurdles along the way, and we will share with you guys soon.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching again. See you soon, and make sure to hit that subscribe button.
Bye.